Welcome once again to Force Perspective. This time we're looking at a game that's not on Steam. Ooh. Today we're taking a look at Triera? Triera? Whatever, it's a vertical platformer. Every new robot on a spaceship manned only by robots has gone rogue against their robot comrades for some reason. And you are the only one that can fix it. Well, not really, but this guy's retired, so he's not gonna fix it. Are you crazy? No, but seriously, as a flying machine. Anyways, the game! Like I said, it's a vertical platformer, which you don't see a lot. I mean, the last true vertical platformer that I played was probably Ice Climbers. So yeah, not very common. And the first thing you'll probably notice in this one, besides the art style, which is actually quite interesting, is the progression system, in the form of a store. You collect coins in the levels and then spend them on upgrades. That's about the extent of it. And the second thing you'll probably notice is the fact that the levels are randomly generated. Each level will always have the same theme. Level 4 will always have lava. I'll get to you soon enough. But the layout will be random. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the core gameplay. It's jumping. Pure and simple. It's a platformer to its core. You jump your way to the exit, avoid enemies, and collect gold and maybe a few power-ups on the way. I'm not gonna complain about that. That's what it was meant to be, and it does it pretty well. Controls are good. You can do the staple of gaming known as the double jump, or even the fabled triple jump if you're playing a certain character. That leads me to the fact that there are multiple characters, but really, there's only one that matters. Proton. I mean, ignoring his objectively better stats, just look at him. He's a robot with a mustache. If that doesn't excite you, you're a terrible person, and quite frankly, I don't think we could be friends. With all that said, though, it's time to talk about the negatives. The first of which is enemy variety. With the exception of a few projectile launchers, all the enemies are basically the same. This one tracks you, this one's fat, and these are useless. That's really the extent of the variety. And I mean, you're just avoiding them, but still, the whole spice of life thing. And the second thing I want to point out is the number of levels. You've got level 1, level 3, 4, and boss. 0 doesn't count, it's just exposition. And they're not all that long. It takes about an hour to finish the whole game. And here's the kicker. It has randomly generated levels, so it should have decent replay value, but with the lack of any kind of survival mode or something along those lines, it just doesn't, which is a shame. Okay, so I mentioned the boss earlier. Yeah, it's time to talk about that. I know what you're asking. If you can't attack, how do you fight a boss? Good question. The answer is not well. All you do is wait for the right power-ups to drop, which, contrary to popular belief, is not that interesting. So it just kinda exists. And as a final bit of negativity, I need to mention this. Right there. Yeah, probably didn't notice it. And that's the problem. I would like to be able to take a quick glance at my progression, but good luck with that. I technically beat this level 3 times without realizing I was even close, just to pass the exit and get brutally murdered by lava. I told you I'd get to you. A little anticlimactic, but I did it. But really, it comes down to whether you like the platforming or not. And personally, with my limited experience of vertical platformers, I wasn't joking about the Ice Climbers thing, I thought it was pretty good, with the exception of this. Yeah. But the length is a real concern, and what am I doing? This stuff is meant for Cliff Notes. Yeah, I'm not doing this bit anymore. Triera is a vertical platformer with randomly generated levels, and a progression system. The platforming itself is done well, but the small number of levels and the lack of any survival mode makes it a short experience. And when combined with the lack of enemy variety and an uninteresting boss fight, makes it less enjoyable than it could have been. With all that said, there aren't that many vertical platformers floating around, so if that's what you're looking for, you don't really have much of a choice. And it has 3 language settings: English, Russian, and advanced Russian? I honestly don't know what that is. Thanks for watching! Click over here to watch the last review I did. Never mind, click over here. It's better, trust me. And speaking of the story, the animations are pretty good. How does that relate to the story? It doesn't. I just couldn't think of a segue. But anyways, yeah, the animations and voice acting are both worthy of praise. And then there's the music. Ah, beautiful. In fact, I enjoy the sound design.